Okay, welcome guys. We're back with Dwarf Fortress. It's been a couple of weeks actually with Dwarf Fortress, so and it's not Friday, it's Saturday for most of you. It's Sunday for me. Anyway, I just wanted to double check that we have DF hack. I just was having a look before because I always forget the command for it, but it is deteriorate. So if we have a quick look, deteriorate is there, which then essentially just gets rid of the undead as they just rot away slowly over time, which is fine. So, which is why we've got so few hostiles on the map. And if I just click on deteriorate, it is then, I looked at this just before, it is enabled. So it is, the undead are slowly rotting. So as we go through each of these, we're going to find, like this is a forgotten beast down through here. This one is actually still alive, but seriously injured. And so we do have a forgotten beast in there, which is currently damaged, and this is on the middle layer, I think, of the where things are. A few undead sort of around the place as well. There's a forgotten beast, which is an undead forgotten beast. So this is actually a mutilated corpse. This one's going to be extremely difficult to fight, which again, it'll deteriorate slowly over time, so it'll sort of end up rotting away in the actual game itself. So you've got all the different other undead around the place. There's nothing really for us to concern ourselves with so much. Oh, except for this one. Oh, there's a left lower arm. All right, so I didn't. I did go through these. So we've got ourselves. This is Sroka is a kobold thief, and he was chopped to pieces by our military, I believe. I can't remember exactly what happened with the rest of him. Anyway, there's still an arm which is crawling its way through this block bin that we actually have in this section of the fortress near the top. I've got a line maker. What I think I'll do is I'll just go and tell my military to go and kill that one off. So if we open up the squad group, and I think I'm not covering anything, that's good. Click on them, and we'll just tell them to go and kill off that particular one there. So confirm. And so the order will be to kill Sroka's left arm. So that will be done. The military is right here. So this is actually there where they live, which is good. We'll just keep on going through the hostiles in that case. Just see if there's anyone else that's inside. Nope, that's it. Okay, so that's all good. They're sparring. That's fine. I'll just go through these, just make sure there's nothing that we have to address. We need cut gems. Okay, we don't have... there we go. One of the farmers was indeed interrupted by Sroka's left arm. And so that's going to be killed off very, very quickly. Falcons has created a masterpiece. That's fine. Rigoth has grown to become a dog. And yeah, we've given birth to a lamb. Everything is going pretty smoothly at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back into my fortress, which is around about F3-ish. So they're all sort of, like, we've got a lot of dwarves in here at this stage. Actually, one thing I should do at the start of a session is actually get my bedroom layer, which I think is F3, F4? F4. I should get the bedroom layer under control. And at the moment, when I have a look through this one, that's okay, except for the smoothing. It's not been done under some of the areas. That's not critical. But let's just go and get all of this set up, just so that we've actually got it done now. There should be two layers here. There's this layer as well. This one is not finished. So let's just go across. And it looks like these aren't being used, these bedrooms. Let's have a quick look and see. Oh, no, they are. They are. Okay, so just want to make sure that we do have different people associated with each bedroom. That's okay. In that case, we just need to get some doors back in through there. So let's just quickly go and fix all this stuff up and get done. So door, keep building after placement, and we will just go into the planner. That way we end up, we've only got one door available at the moment, but if I just go into this way, they will actually then start to plan these. And we had started down in here as well, so let's just go and just get them so that they will start to build what we need down in this other side here. And do the other side over here as well. We do need to fill out all of these different bedrooms to make them viable. That's the Queen's quarters just above us. Actually, we've got to check that as well. There's a few little things that we do need to make sure that we do actually have the everything set up properly. So we'll just go through all the nobles as well. I sort of keep on meaning to do this before I start recording, just so that we don't have to sort of sit through the process of building all this. So these are all now planned doors, which will then be placed into the fortress. We'll just go back into the build menu again, and now just put in beds. So furniture, bed. So hi Terracus, how you going? And Vormithrax. We've got 79 raiders from Vormithrax. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We're in a zombie fort. This is essentially what we are. So we've done very, very well in this fort, I've got to say. We've got like over 100 dwarves, 127 dwarves living in here, even though it's actually a dangerous location. So I'll give a bit of a rundown as to what's going on with the fort. So it's been set up in what's called a reanimating biome, which makes life fairly dangerous. But we have actually sort of been able to push our way through. Hi, Murder of Phoenixes, how you going? And Fully, welcome, guys. I'll just get this bedroom layer under control, and then the last thing we need to do is just give them some sort of furniture. So we'll just go into like a chest to go and place everything into where they are. So we're using DF hack for. I find it so much easier to actually use DF hack for managing the forts. Certainly makes life a lot easier in terms of just doing this sort of jobbing type work where you can set things up like where you just got a planner, and as things are built, they will then be placed inside the fortress itself. So DF hack for me is essential. So if ever I forgot there's a couple of beds we need up the top there as well. So that's got all of those done. I don't think we've got any other issues at the top there, so I think that they're all okay. In this instance, we'll just finally go back to the beds. Just right click, furniture and bed. All right, so today we're going to be looking at trying to get a minecart system built, if we can, just because we've now got the opportunity to sort of go and do different things. Let's just go and see. Yeah, we don't actually have the bedrooms established for in here. Now that I've actually got, even though it's planned, I can now go and create like an auto bedroom for all that group down this other side. Let's just quickly go and do that one. So if we go across to bedroom, in this case we're going to go to multi. And so select a rectangle which contains beds in order to form bedrooms. It just needs a bed and a door, basically, to be able to then sort of go through. If I just marquee select that whole area now, it will then automatically create the bedrooms. So that's all been done. So 40 bedrooms were created. Awesome. So these are now actual bedrooms. So if I go back into the mode into here and whoops, and just start to click on each of these are now available. There's no restriction on them, so that's a nice fast way to, that's not part of DF hack, that's just part of the main bedroom aspect of it. So that gets everything done. Now what I do actually have is I'm building traps everywhere because this is a reanimating biome, meaning that if anyone dies, they'll come back as a zombie, and the zombies will attack at 3 times the strength of a normal dwarf or any normal animal, actually, which makes life interesting. So we'll just quickly go across into our traps as well. So we've just got the traps down through here, and I've just been using cage traps. So just cage traps in each of these different locations. So these are just so that the zombies can really only operate inside the 10 bedrooms that inside their little corridor before they then sort of make their way out. So that should then sort of satisfy that one, and if any zombies do get through this way, we've got another trap there. So that's my typical sort of bedroom layout for this particular map. This is our queen quarters. We'll have a quick look at that as well before we move on. So we've got now this is the Winter Flautus is the Dwarven Queen. So we actually have the monarch staying at this particular fortress. So we need to get. So we've got a few things we haven't actually achieved yet. We've got we need a royal throne room, and we've got a royal throne room, and we need a royal mausoleum, and we have a royal mausoleum. But what we don't have is a royal dining room or a royal bedroom. So we've got a grand bedroom and also a grand dining room, but we need to increase in this case, this is the, if we have a quick look and see what these are, this is the unnamed dining hall, but this is actually the Queen's dining hall. And so we need to get the quality of this one up to make it so that it actually goes from grand to royal. And similarly in through here, here's the bedroom back in this other side. So we've been doing little bits and pieces here to try to raise the value of the actual of everything that's going on. Actually, I'll just double check as well while we have a look at this one. Yeah, we do have all of the actually that's do we have everything we need? Yeah, we do actually have everything. So we've got all of the chests, the cabinets, the weapon racks, and the armor stands have all been satisfied. These have also been added in as really high value. This is a gold cabinet, but that one's also jewel encrusted. If you have a bit of a look at it. So it is encircled with bands of emerald cut smoky quartzes. And so this one is worth about 1,000. So we need to keep on getting as much value in here as we possibly can. I think some of it's just a gabbro cabinet. That's nothing of great value. I don't actually have anything. This is actually a lignite. This one is an artifact, which is going to be worth a hell of a lot. So just by adding in all these different things inside the zone, inside the area does help. But the other thing we can do, other than we can just go and start to engrave the flooring, which is what we've done here. In fact, this one is still all queued up for engravement. So we might wait for the engraving to happen. And so we have Falcons, the Doctor, is actually sort of working his way through detailing the floor. And we've sort of got, he's a legendary weaver. What else is he? Should be, he's detailing the floor. I've only allowed 1 or 2 people to go and do that one. Proficient stone cutter, but I think he's also extremely highly valued. If we just go back to skills. Yeah, so legendary weaver. I'm not seeing the skills there to be able to do this on the floor here. He's an adept engraver, level 7. He's our best engraver, so we're just leaving him to do the engravement. On the floor through here, this is an engraving on the floor, in this case, a funny designed image of Rami Umbrages, the Flowery, the troll, by Falcons. So Rami, the Flowery, is labouring. The work relates to the settling of the troll Rami in the mountain of Threatening in 39. So it goes back and sort of builds things from the legends on the around the place when you do this one. Now, we have gold flooring, so we've put down gold flooring just to raise the overall. And we won't see the value of this, but hopefully that will then just push these engravings on the gold floor. Will then push the value of these rooms up. So we'll come back to that. If you've got any questions or want us to see anything, let me know. So we've got the, anyway, as I sort of said before, we went through the list of hostiles. We have all these little undead, mutilated corpses and things wandering around, but we've locked them out. So this one is an actual giant olm, which is fighting a crocodile here, a cave crocodile corpse. So again, we've just got zombies everywhere. And we've been using Deteriorate just to try to get rid of them because we had over 100 at one point. It was just crazy. So these are, Deteriorate will just slowly sort of whittle things away. So we actually have, where is it? Up here. We actually have a Forgotten Beast, which has been killed. And so this is actually a mutilated corpse of a Forgotten Beast. So this is the most powerful thing in the game. When something dies, when it becomes a zombie, and and our dwarves killed this one. They went out and actually had an expedition and actually killed it, like all of our military. Our military is very, very strong. And so they smashed the original Forgotten Beast, and it was a big fight, essentially destroyed it, but they didn't get to destroy its brain. So it's actually come back to life, and it's now 3 times as strong as a normal Forgotten Beast. So this is an absolute beast of a thing like this now wandering around, but it is dead. So we do actually have Deteriorate, which will slowly get this thing to rot away. If we have a look at the, it says heavy bleeding, cannot breathe, ability to stand has been lost, but motor nerve, but it will still actually have a monstrous amount of damage that it can cause. So you can see there's a lot of, like its left rear foot is gone and its teeth are gone. So these were chopped off by our guys. So and this has been just wandering around, killing anything it finds, including, is it getting other zombies? Actually, I don't think it is. I think it's now that it is a zombie, it's just wandering around doing its own thing. But it's actually, its lower spine is broken, lower spine is bruised, etc., etc. So it's had a lot of damage caused to it, but it is now 3 times stronger than what it was when it was living. And the only way of destroying this thing now, it won't tire, won't do anything unless you actually can smash its brain. It's just going to be too hard. So we're not going to go and do that one. This is on the upper layer of the fortress. So we've actually got our fortress, which is just in here essentially. So we've got like a walled area. So we are safe inside the walled area. And so this is actually and one of the unfortunate things in the game, there's been a bug ever since this version of the game came out, which was to stop forgotten beasts from being able to break their way through doors. So, and I don't know why they haven't fixed it. Like, it's actually really quite annoying because it's like at the moment this is perfectly safe. Like, there are some door smashers, but not very many in the game, and yet in the old version of the game, there's no way you could leave a door like this just open to to creatures coming through, because they will. There are thieves which can break their way through as well. That is working, but the forgotten beasts don't have the opportunity to actually to make it through these doors. So yeah, which is unfortunate. I was hoping that the game would have fixed itself up at some point, but it hasn't done that. Actually, we've still got things that have. Actually, that's now been. I don't know why there's hair there. I might just go and dump these. We've got this is a atom smasher back and through there. There's not much in there at this stage, but we are just wanting to sort of throw in anything that could be dumped. Gets thrown from the surface here, from this hole, which is a dump area. So that anywhere where there's a dump area, if there's a hole, they'll throw it in the hole. So you can put this over anything you like. So we've got a few different areas. We've got kids playing around with the pulse skulls in here, but I'm just going to get rid of most of this stuff. So I can just come back into here and just change the overall designation for most of these, just to dump. I'm just going to dump a big portion of these. That way they'll all get thrown down into the pit, and that one, and anything that's like this that has been forbidden. I want to actually. There's another one there. Just unforbid that, and there was another one here. Unforbid that. That way, we'll just chuck all this stuff away. These are like this sort of stuff is coming back to life all the time. So we have things come back to life and haunt the various people that we actually have, the various dwarves. So we've sort of got little traps again with most of our fortress in around, just to sort of try to, as I come back up into the main fortress in here, where we're sort of building things, we've ended up with more traps coming back in. There's just more mines down this way. This is actually where we're bringing up all of our. This is what we want the minecart system for, to actually bring the weaponry up from the forges down below, and then to, which is at the very bottom of the fortress. So we want to sort of be doing that. Yeah, in here, this is actually where we've got like different traps. Is that one done? That's a cage trap. Yeah, there's got cage traps through there, cage traps through here. A lot of the things come back to life in this particular area. So you can see we've got little traps all over the place just because of the zombies. But in this case, when they butcher animals, there will be, like, so they're just about to butcher this poult. Certain things, when they butcher them, will end up with hair and stuff, and if they're not careful, they'll come back to life. Similarly with the, this is the still, we've got the kitchen, and we then have the farmer's workshop. This is another one where we have to be a bit careful. We do actually have mangled lower hair. Like, these come back to life as well, so we just have to throw these away. We've got another one back over here. So I'm going to put another area of traps in around this particular one as well. I'll just go and do that now. So what I'm using here is I'm using up through here where we can get leather and hair before it's been cured. I've got these are weapon traps. So we've just got like iron short swords and things, which I don't really want to be using in these. I could replace them with other stuff, copper maces. I think we've got a few different traps, a few different things now. So let's just go and build those as well. Just go back into traps and weapon, and we have, yeah, we've got enough there. I'm just going to hide the planner, and we'll just keep on going back and sort of creating like killing off these. I'll just go and place them in through here. Gabbro mechanisms. Prefer not to use the steel, but that's all we've got really. Is we've just been making things out of steel. I don't know if I want that, to be honest. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my steel weaponry on traps. We could get them to start to create other types of weapons out of different types of material. That might be the way to do that, actually. If I go to the very, very bottom of the fortress, just pressing F8, this is actually our forges. And we've got gold in through here, so this is actually sort of where we've got a bit of a gold stockpile. We haven't got a lot of the other materials. In through here we actually have a nickel. We do have nickel down this way. Why don't we just go and create, we need about 7 or 8 different weapons, so let's just go and create some nickel swords if we can. So we'll just go and add new task, weapons, we'll just go back to nickel. Does it have nickel in there? No, it doesn't. So nickel we need to use to actually then go and build other things. So nickel will need to be combined with other materials. This is actually where we've got like the gold nuggets. We've got the iron bars in through here. This is our steel making area. So I can keep on building more things. We're going to have flux stone layer in through this other side with limestone. So this is everything to do. Pig iron bars. So this from here to here is all what we require to build steel. And so we're trying to get like a big list of like a big group here of steel bars just ready to do anything. And similarly with the gold bars, we're mainly using them for decoration and also for building special furniture as required. But I'll just leave that one there. These are all magma furnace like underneath them, so we've just got magma running underneath those, which then has got like a grate to stop any animals from getting through, any magma animals, because they can actually crawl up out of the furnaces to cause issues. But there's no real issue there. Anyway, let's. I won't worry about doing the weapon traps in this case. I don't think. There's. We can actually go back into the smelters and add a new task. We've got steel, metal object, smelter, garnerite ore. So we can smelt the different ores, but I can't create brass or anything like that. Requires copper bars there. So I think we could use oops, where are we? Come back up. I could use the nickel, I think, with copper, but I don't actually have any copper. Unless we start to melt down weaponry that we find. There is weaponry outside from the various attacks that have gone on. If we just go and press F1, this is the outside of the fortress. And that is so you can see this is Stroker's mangled corpse as he tried to escape. And so there's different things like copper arrows, silver arrows, stuff like this, which is outside, where different fights have been going on with different groups coming in. I don't really want my guys outside because there's actually it rains this goo, this sort of this abhorrent goo, just because we're in a haunted biome, and that makes them feel sick. So we've sort of been able to establish again traps all the way around through here. Yep, that's all okay. These all need to be forbidden. They are actually. Why is that? That's the mechanism. I just need the cage itself forbidden, so that one's okay. All right, let's go down to what we're trying to build in the fortress with everything. If we just go back down into where I was trying to build the location for the minecart. We're just trying to get the minecart, just trying to get it sort of so that it works for us. And so initially, am I this far down? I didn't think I was that far. I think I was F5 and then down 1. Or up 1? Yeah, up 1. There we go. So this is our minecart. We're just testing what we've done at this stage. So what we need is we need to actually ultimately end up with an upward track. You can see there, rough bauxite block upward track, and so this one is going to the up. It's going upward to here, and then coming back down into this location in here. What we then need to do is just sort of go and connect this one up and connect this one up as well. So we'll just go and do that now. So what I've done with there is I've gone across into here. So I've got like an area where I can then just go and I built the track initially from here down across to here and then down this way. And I've just then deleted the elements that were actually there at that point. By having an upward track, it means the minecart that comes into this side of it will then think it's going downhill and will accelerate. So that's what we want. Is we want acceleration. We want it to test to see how strong this ultimately is going to be. We've already lost one dwarf building this sort of stuff, so we'll just go across. I don't think I can actually get everything exactly the way that I want it, but I'll just give it a bit of a go. So if we go into the carve a track, and so actually we do have that already established, but see how it's not quite working, the carving. If I can't carve that one there. Let's just wait for that to be carved. So dwarves will come in and build this one. So we're now running. Should be running. There we are. Yep. So Stroker's arm has now been killed. That's all okay. They're back to sparring again. And so our military is now finished doing what it's doing, so we'll just go and close off the military tab. Okay, they're all doing what they do. We've got a goblin poet is now visiting. Just got to keep track of what happens. It's now raining that abhorrent goo again. So we've now engraved the track, and we don't have these slight little gaps do slow you down as things do come through. So ideally we don't end up with those, but we'll end up just needing to sort of try to get these across to sort of match up. So I could clean it up a little bit by just going and creating another. Well, I can even create like two accelerators, but I think I'll just leave it with one at this stage, just to get a feel for what's going to happen through here. So with the minecart system, what we now need to do is actually establish a location where we just push things off, and I just want to sort of get a feel for what happens as the minecarts do sort of come around through here. So we'll go and do this is a hauling routes, which we need to go and add a new route in through here. We've tested a few different ones. So we have the add a stop to this route. So we'll need to actually have, like, maybe we'll just go and build them initially. So if we go back into the, where is it, constructions, and then we have a track stop. Sorry, track stop is actually where it's the end of the line. We've got the track. The track stop should still be okay. Track stops are used in conjunction with the hauling menu. They can also be it can be used to add friction to minecart tracks. And so we want to do this one here. We want to have a minecart which has got maximum friction. So set the friction and auto dump direction. I'm not going to worry about auto dumping anything. We just want to test it at this stage. And so that's essentially what we want to have established, so that it stops whatever the minecart is at this location. So let's just go into here and go and place the stop, and we'll just select the material. Chert is right next to us, so we'll just go and use that chert block. And so that will then be established. So we'll actually get that one built, and then we'll build the next version of it coming in just in a second. All right, so now the track stop needs a start, end, and end. So we're just going to be pushing it this way. If we go back into the minecart system and add a stop to this route, and I'll just go stop one. I won't do any other stops, so it'll be stop one, which will be here. So we need to set the items desired by the minecart at this stop. There's nothing we need, so I'm just going to leave that one with nothing. I'm not going to sort of go and add anything at this stage. Link the stockpile, we don't need to do that one. This is set conditions for the minecart to move to the next stop. In this case, what we wanted them to do is to tell them how to do it. Now, these are different examples of what could actually happen. So you sort of need to get rid of these essentially and then just go and build them yourself as to how things do sort of work. But it does give a good example. So guide north immediately when full of desired items. So this is actually what they've got. Now guide means they get pushed. This one here is push off north immediately, which is what we want. We want the dwarfs to come down and just kick it along and have it so that it just trundles along the track or ride in it. Now we don't want that just yet, so we'll go in and do the push off north immediately, but we want it to go to the east. So we're going to push off to the east. It will then be pushed along the track. And so when full of desired items, now in this case we actually have immediately always at most 100%. So by clicking that one there, I can sort of switch it to when it's waiting for desired items or just any old time, which is what I do want. I can also then change the percentages of that we actually have in through here, and then finally we've got the that one there is yeah, no, that's not going to affect it one way or another, to be honest. This is, I think, just waiting for for if we're using stockpiles to fill it up, which we'll do eventually. But in this case, all I need to do with that one there is just click on done, and so that is now the route, which is where we end up with a minecart there. We then just need to go and add a minecart to it. So we have a lot of wooden minecarts ready to go. So we'll just go and add this minecart to the system. It's going to go to stop 1. We'll just go and wait for that one to come back up. And hopefully this will then work. So the first thing they'll do is there'll be a, now that one there is hauling a tower cap minecart. If you go back into the items, there's a tower cap minecart there. And so Kivish is moving that one through. So Lol Africa is saying, what's your opinion of Dwarf Fortress versus RimWorld? RimWorld was heavily inspired by Dwarf Fortress, but RimWorld, oh God, they're both great games. They are both so good. Yeah, they're both great games. RimWorld is much more combat focused, I guess. The relationship between the individual people, you do get more connected with RimWorld, just because you tend to have smaller groups. But yeah, God, it's really hard to say which one's better, to be honest. They're both great games. Like, they really are, unbelievably good. Oh, here we go. Now we've got things like this where Kivish, the spinner, has slipped into a depression. That's not Kivish. Oh, that is Kivish. No, it's a stone carver. That's Kivish Vabok Mend. This is a different one. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. Just making sure there's no other things we need to be watching. Mainly, I'm not worried about when I see corpses and things, but I'm just going to sort of allow those to do their thing. So let's just go and get rid of all of that. We'll come back to this problem. There we go. There's the minecart. Now, the first thing, dropped it off. The trouble we're going to have is if anyone stays on the area. What I want to do is now just press the full stop button. So give me a hug, saying they both scratch a little bit of a different itch, in my opinion. Yeah, they are different, aren't they? But they are like the two games. But I don't think I could, like, my default is to say I prefer Dwarf Fortress more, but that's because I play it more. But I actually don't really think that Dwarf Fortress is any better than RimWorld or vice versa. I really do think that they're on a par, and they're exceptional games. Like, it's and with RimWorld, I was lucky enough to sort of be really early on the like when RimWorld was first being developed. Like, it was, before it came to Steam, or well before then. It was and it started off as a proof of concept where there was inspiration from Dwarf Fortress and other things, but it was actually a combat proof of it's not proof of purchase, proof of just testing out game mechanics by Tynan, the developer of it, and he was and so it was actually built to sort of see what could happen if you had characters that would actually go and stand, if they were fighting or firing from different things in behind rocks, and how you'd sort of manage all that. So it started off literally as a test area for him to test out a system where he could actually have things that were hiding from bullets and stuff. It's incredible where it's come from, and it very quickly became sort of the goal of it became the RimWorld that we love today. Like, it's just amazing. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to press the full stop key. We've just gone there. I'm just going to see how many stops it takes for the minecart to do what it's doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That doesn't seem right. All right, let me unpause. Oh, it is going still. Hang on, let me try that again. Okay, 1, 2, 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is going to, it's going about every 3 stops, and so it's slowing down a little bit now. But what we want to do is we want to see what sort of speed we get when it goes through that area. Now it's going to come back to that stop. I'll just let it run. It's going to come back to here and then reset. And so it stops there. And now we should find that the minecart system will then go again. I'll do that again. I don't know why the full stops weren't working then. But I need to see what sort of acceleration we get from this little contraption in here. And then we'll need to test it going up into, so we'll then test to see what sort of speed. And this is not full, so we're going to need to get it moving fairly well. With a lot of speed. Well, not unfortunately, that's just going to have to be the way it works. If we have too much speed when it hits these stops, it will actually, it'll just go straight through the stop. So it's quite dangerous. One thing I should do, just to sort of get my dwarves to not get too used to sort of being on these areas. Now, if we go into, this is set traffic high and low areas. Yeah, I have actually already established lowish areas, so set a restricted traffic area. It's visible hard for better routes. So I've already established this one here where I've got like a low traffic area around this sort of area and basically a forbidden area through here, just because of the danger. And yeah, that's actually doesn't really worry me with what we're doing there. That's fine. So let's continue on. Someone should come back down again and reset the minecart. Here they come. So he is now going to be coming down and push the track vehicle. So when it comes back to here, and we want to just have a bit of a look to see now let's just go through and time it. So I'm just using the full stop key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's now essentially, it's actually on there, but it's now going to come off there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there we go. But we should have now more acceleration. I don't think we can see the acceleration of the minecart itself. This is actually the one that was used to kill, we ended up having one accident. So nil shock crypts, dwarven blood is still splattered all over the front of this thing. Just as a warning. So we'll just go back in. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can see it's now accelerated from 5 to 2, and then sort of moving off a little bit through there as well. Hi, John Monkey. How are you going? So you have a question about something, the upcoming Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. Any impressions of it so far? I mean, I'm very impressed with it actually. I played it yesterday, so I did a 2-hour recording, a live stream of it, and it was simple, but Heroes of Might and Magic is fairly simple. But I really quite liked it. There was a lot to do. I think it's going to be a really, really good version of Heroes of Might and Magic. Heroes of Might and Magic I find a little bit too basic in a lot of ways, and it did have that, but I think that's still good for it. It's actually it does work well. So in that sense, I think it's a very, very good, very, very good. It's going to be the best of the Heroes of Might and Magic games by a long way, I think. Even better than the old Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It's sort of you can tell it's got a lot of connection back to the earlier versions of Heroes of Might and Magic when it was a classic game, and but they've done it incredibly well. So yeah, I started off thinking, it's a bit simple, but then by the end I was thinking, no, this is really, really good with what they've actually built. Anyway, let's unpause. That's just going to go around the track and then stop there again. So it's going to be keeping on doing this one and just getting it ready. What I can do is I can now just sort of stop. Now that I know that this works, what you can see there, even that one there, the acceleration does pick up as soon as it goes through this accelerator. So we know what we're doing there. That's actually good. So we can start to sort of now figure out how we try to get something that can actually then push a fully laden minecart from the top of the fortress all the way down. So we can. So this is actually working really quite nicely. But the trick with that is we have to build the whole track, and then disassemble parts of it if we do need to disassemble it. So Grim Harbinger is saying, how's the fortress? It's sort of, we're now in a bit of an easy mode, to be honest. Like it's sort of, we've got protections everywhere. We've still got a few people that are unhappy. We'll actually go and have a look to see what's going on with that particular dwarf. I'm just going to go and, with this mine cart here. Here we go. We can actually, with DF hack, I can change the friction. That's cool. I didn't ever see that before. That's very, very cool. Yeah, okay. So we can actually edit the track stops. I'd never noticed that before, actually, in DF hack. That's why DF hack is just such a great little addition to the game. It really does make it so much better to play. Yeah, so we don't have any cut gems in the stockpiles at this stage. Sarvish has grown to become a billy goat, which is great. So he's stopped being a kid. So that's someone's pet. All right, so we've got 3 really unhappy dwarves. Some of like these have traditionally been from our military. Let's go to Kivish has slipped into depression. Let's go and see where Kivish actually is. So Kivish is here. What's below that? Yeah, this is actually where they're all coming down to throw the stuff away. So this is all being thrown away into the bottom area. So Kivish is here, who is haggard. Now, if we don't fix up the depression, we're going to end up with a lot of problems. So again, we just need to try to fix things. Now, there are some bugs in the game where certain things there are bugs where this will actually cause issues that we can't actually address. So we can fix that with DF hack. So I'm just glancing at the comments there. So John Monkey's saying, oh, then I need to watch your video then. Well, the video, just be aware at the start, I start off being a bit disappointed with the combat. And by the end of it, I can see the value of it. And there's a lot of people commenting as well about different things who play more Heroes of Might and Magic than what I do. So and so it's probably worth having a quick read of those comments as well. I sort of didn't get much chance to address them in the chat yesterday because there were so many coming through. But it's I sort of my head was in the wrong space when I first was playing the combat, and by the end of it, I was thinking, yeah, this is fine. Like it actually was good. So when you start watching it, when I first get into combat, I do think, oh, this is way too basic. Like I still would prefer other things in it, like. And there's another game, God, I always forget the name of it. Yeah, I can't think of what it is. There's sort of an independent version of Heroes of Might and Magic, which actually does a better job of combat. I still think it's a better job of combat with another game. God, what is it? I can't think of what it is. I know it begins with S. Anyway, mine's gone blank. Yeah, Grim is saying it clearly needs to be made even more grand and even larger. This is our fortress. Yes, well, we're slowly building things up. We want to actually get into a position where we're building more like a military, like a ranged military as well. It's just so we can actually build the top towers. And the siege version of the game will be coming quite soon. So sort of it could be any week now that we end up with getting proper sieges, which is going to be pretty cool. So I think we'll just keep on building up with that in mind and try to sort of have the sieges sort of coming through. We're in an Erebor style gate. Erebor, what sort of gate is that? So where's Erebor? That's Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Can't think of what that is, where that is in the books. And it certainly rings a bell. Anyway, let's go and find out what's going on here. So this one has got it's haggard. Looks like battle mode, doesn't it? Anyway, let's go back into the thoughts. You can sort of often see like fondness in through here. Didn't feel anything after seeing a yak bull's dead body. Didn't feel anything after seeing the Gorlak's dead body through here. Uneasy after being unable to acquire something for too long. This will probably be the sorts of things that will then be causing the issues, and felt lonely after being away from family for too long. This is very often not the problem. When we actually have a look at the relations, we'll quite often see that his mother is here. So Olin is actually here. A lot of these are not at the present. If they've got this little symbol here, we're seeing that they actually belong. They are at this particular fortress. So most of his family is away in other fortresses, except for his cousin. So we've got the cousin through there. But then we'll sort of see we've got close friends here. We've got a performer. This is Melville. We've got Vinyl Rabbit. The mayor is a close friend. So it doesn't make sense that we're seeing that he's having troubles with relationships, because he doesn't have troubles with relationships. And this, I think, is the bug. It was where it doesn't ever fix itself up. And we can actually check this out in DF Hack to see exactly what the numbers actually are. So if we get clues like from his thoughts, so recent thoughts, you can see there, uneasy, lonely after being away from family for too long. Yeah, family, okay, that one we can see his mum's there and his cousin's there, but that's about it. And we're acquiring something. We don't know what that is. If we have a look and see what his, often his personality, never pass up the chance for a good fist fight. Is an overinflated sense of self-worth. Is slow to anger. Is a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. Has an active imagination. Does not often feel lustful. Is stubborn. Tends to be a little wasteful. Prefers to present himself modestly. We're not seeing there what he actually wants. Actually, we go to needs. Nothing there. Preferences. Likes marcasite, pig iron, precious fire opals, giant walrus leather, the colour clear. It's an interesting colour. Gauntlets, bracelets, and the words of the wild simplicity. When possible, he prefers to consume giant moon snail, which we're not going to have, of course, seahorse, tomato wine. Yeah, no, there's no way we can get all that stuff for him. Longland grass seeds and dates. He absolutely detests snails. Okay, that's. I mean, you do get snails and stuff in the fortress, but they're sort of abstracted into vermin. Values. We're not seeing what he actually does require. So what we can do is we can actually just now sort of cheat, but the game is bugged anyway. So I'm thinking we just do it anyway. So with Kivish selected. We then go into DF Hack, and we go, and I forget what it's called. Let's go back to the GUI launcher, and I think it's under just called Needs. It's all needs. What's that one do? This one here is summarize the cumulative needs of a unit or the entire fortress. So it provides an overview of the needs of the selected unit, or if no unit is selected. Now we do actually have him selected here, so we're just going to go to all needs. There are options as well that we can sort of then go through, but that's all we need to do is just go and click on that one. And so you can see down through here, there's this is the need is to be with a family. The strength is strength 2 in what's actually going on. Praying and meditating is actually a high strength level in through there. So whoever he actually prays to is something we could do to actually address it. But then we've got so the strength of the need is high to pray, but the actual focus impact, you can see there negative 34,000 for both to be with family and to acquire an object. Being with family, being with friends, you can see is actually pretty good. Be with family, I don't know if that's something like. I do feel that we are cheating if we then go and make use of that. So I'm thinking we've got his mum is in the fortress. I don't know if that's a bug or not really. An acquire object, we don't know what that actually is. So I can actually go and reset these numbers if I wanted to. I don't know whether we should or not. What do you guys reckon? Do we reset it? Erebor the Hobbit. Yeah, the Lonely Mountain. Yeah, there we go. I knew it was one of those books. Hi, Tenry. How you going? And so anyway, with the with that there, these are the this now shows the impact directly to him. The strength of it is low, but over time these have both built up really, really strongly. And praying and meditating is also something he likes to do, and in a very strong way, which makes me think that he does have access to go and do this. Let's go and see who he prays to. So we go to relations, go to the bottom of relations. We'll then see his deities usually. No, we're not seeing it there. Oh, here we go. So we've got a Sufal Luton Pamnot and Thephan Uthrebeka, two deities that he does pray to. And we don't actually have a temple set up for those. Now, I don't really want to go out of my way building stuff that nobody prays to, or one or two dwarves. If we just go back up to F3, this is actually where we've got like our main hall. We've then also got the throne room of the queen back in through here, and we might just check and see how that's going as well. Yeah, we've actually now satisfied the bedroom, but the dining room still needs to be fixed up a bit more than what is actually there. So we've got everything in the bedroom is now royal. We just need to get this one up, so that's fine. We sort of were looking at that one just before. Come back to that one. This is my temples. So I do actually have temples in here, where I don't have actually I do have a spare temple here, and so we could actually go and create one. This one is the Church of Watchfulness, which if we have a look and see the details, this is dedicated to cast back in through here. If we go and create another one, this one here is actually a major location. You can see we've had to deck this one out with gold flooring as well. This one is the temple. This is a temple complex, which has got 46 worshippers this is the ungodly faith, which is sort of like a very prevalent. The god it's the evil church, the temple of the ungodly faith. Not that the evil church means much, but in this case, I think it begins with L. I think we've got a few other ones here. This is the bad sanctuary. This one is Lish. These are all dedicated to Lish. It's got 94 worshippers there. I'm pretty sure this is actually now, like this one here, when we look at it, it's only got 46. But most of them, and the evil church is actually a church to Lish, but it must be for sort of like higher level people, that are more sort of associated with it. If we go back to this one through here, so this one is the temple devoted to Lish. And we then actually have a generic temple back over here, which is for no particular deity. So if we go and have a look and see, if we go and I can just go and create another temple in here at this stage. So we might as well go and do that, just because we haven't actually been haven't been doing anything. So we need to have now temples are meeting areas. So this is such as taverns and temples. So we just go into meeting area, and then just go into that zone there, and accept, and then we go and add this one here. It's going to be a new temple, and so we do have. We can sort of see what the numbers are that we actually have that we need to sort of then go and address. And I think that was one of them. We've got 8 worshippers there. This is the god of jewels. Cast. We've already got cast. So these are all the different deities that we can sort of then go and see. So we do actually have. So this one here, the ungodly faith, is actually a faith that's and Lish is the god of death and murder. The Ashen sect as well also looks to Lish, the lost. 3 worshippers there. Tephan, it's thunder and rain. There's just heaps and heaps of them. Then there's actual groups. There's only like 1 worshipper to a lot of these different sorts of things. So again, a lot of these are just dedicated to Lish. So I'm not going to go after those as such. But he doesn't have a need to if he did want to go and pray to Lish like all the others, he'd be able to go and do it. I think it was Thephan, Sculpted Leap. We've got 6 there, and we also had. I might just go and have another quick look at him and just see what he's got, what there is there. So if we go back into where he is, and look at his relations. Actually, if we have a look specifically at his thoughts, it's not mentioning about that he can't really pray, so I don't think that's really a problem. Annoyed, yeah, restless, horrified after being attacked by the dead. Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, it does say that he does need to pray. All right, let's go and see what his. What about the memories? These are like lasting memories. Gratitude, being rescued, uneasy, dwelling upon being attacked by the dead, frustrated, dwelling upon suffering a major injury. So he was. This also does impact them when they do suffer big attacks, but this was fairly old. Yeah, communicate. Okay. Wonder, remember communing with Tefn. So Tefn in through there again. So he did actually get a connection with that particular god. Whoops. Fondness, remembering a friend. Proud, shaken, reliving, suffering a major injury. So he relived this trauma. Afraid after experiencing trauma. That was from there. Gratitude, remembering being rescued. So he does remember the rescue in 302. Restless, dwelling on being unable to rest and recuperate. And then horrified, reliving being attacked by the dead. So he keeps on remembering about this. So it looks like Tefn sculpted leap. I might as well go and throw that one in there. I'll just go back up to the. So I've zipped off away from it. Let's go to F3 and then up. So we only have 6 people that actually use this one, but we'll just go and do that one initially and just see if that helps him at all. So we just go back across, and this will be a new temple dedicated to Tefn. Sculpted leap. There we go. So he's now got a dedicated temple that he can pretty much go off and pray to. Did you get the minecarts to work? Pretty much, yes. We haven't built anything with them just yet. I'll just go back into the bedroom layer again. I think it's F5, F4, F4, and then down. So these have now all been sort of done. The bedroom was fine. It's this dining hall, I think, was the issue that we had with the Queen. Yeah, the dining there needs to be a royal dining room. So we're going to need to put in a bit more luxury goods in through this other side. So we have various other engravings on the floor there. I'll just go and place some gold flooring down into this location. I don't think I can move that gold table anywhere. So this gold table has been encrusted with gems, and etc. etc. If I just go back into floors, so constructions, floors, and I don't know if I can actually place it under there. No, we can't do that one because it's blocked. We'll just go and place some gold flooring on either side here, and so we just go into gold bars and here. So these dramatically increase the value even just by making it a gold floor, but we will engrave it as well, I think, or maybe not. We'll just see what actually happens there. All right, back down into the F4, F5. So we now have a bit of an idea as to what's going on. What I want to do is I want to make it so that when we do start to bring things up from down below, actually, where the hell is it? I just keep at least track of where I've actually got that one built. There it is on the layer above. So this is actually working. If we just go and unpause this one, it'll just come back to here. And so I'll just let it run itself through, and you'll then sort of see the just how fast it actually does go. Like when it hits this area here. And see how the acceleration goes? And it stays pretty much with the same acceleration all the way through, which is great. So as far as testing it is concerned, that's actually fine. Let's now stop what we're doing through here. So we're just going to go and just want to double check that there's nothing we have to worry about. That's all okay. So we've got to be really careful with what actually happens here. I'll let Kivish try to do his own thing for a little while. If he becomes too haggard, we might have to step in and have a look to see if we can address things. He needs to go and talk to his mum. But a lot of his family is missing from the location. So what we need to do here is we need to now go and test what's going to happen if we go up. and what's going to happen with the like if we move it up to another layer. So if it goes this way and then is going to then sort of continue on around this other side. So let's go and build. Yeah, I think what we'll do first of all is we'll just go and stop this one here. So we'll just go and get rid of the root. Are you sure you want to? Actually, I'll just go and I can pause it essentially by telling it to when full of desired items. Now I don't think that will work. And we can actually get them to write it as well. They can kick it off and write it as well at this stage. So yeah, with what we have, so yeah, I'm not going to bother putting desired. Let's just see if that one fixes it without us needing to get rid of it. Because we're wanting to sort of test that a bit to see if someone does come through and actually kick it off. We can do that. Oh, it's still, yeah, see how they came in? It's not ready to go. Maybe I will just go and delete that area actually. So we'll just go back into our, we can always just add another one in. Yes, proceed. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that particular stop. So this one is no longer, we've got it built, but it's not really an active, nothing is actually active. We've got an injured citizen. How'd that happen? What's going on there? So Curry Boglin is recovering the wounded. I'm not seeing. We've got the left arm of Stroker is still fighting. Now this is who is that? That's Tikid. Seriously injured somehow and winded. Let's go and find out what happened here. So Tikid. So these guys are actually all fighting. All right, so there's been an attack through here. So this is actually where Stroker's left arm attacks the Woodcrafter, but he jumps away. The Woodcrafter, he jumped into an obstacle, which his neck takes the full force of the impact, and the part is smashed into the body, an unrecognisable mass. So he's actually done this damage to himself. An artery was opened in the attack. The Woodcrafter's left upper arm takes the full force of the impact. The part is smashed. Now, actually, you know what's happened? He's what's actually happened here is we've built our fortress with a bit of a fun aspect to it, and we don't get to see where this one actually was. But so he actually has smashed his. What's actually happened? I'll try to explain the. Get rid of all this. So what we can see through here is that when we have a look down from here, for example, we have an opening with a staircase running around it. And every 7 layers we have a floor. And so it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the fortress. But if he gets attacked, for example, that arm was in here somewhere at the time. And so if the arm makes its way across into this side and he leaps, happens to leap randomly into the opening, he has to fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before he actually hits the bottom. And so this is, we can see Tikud's dwarven blood is now on this floor. So he's jumped into the abyss and at this location and fallen on his head, basically on his neck, and sort of mangled himself as he sort of came back through. So we just did this one for a bit of fun. Now that's the Winter Flautus's trousers there for whatever reason. And so he's then ended up on the floor here, the injured citizen, and has needed to be rescued. So he's in a bad way. If we have a quick look, Curry Boglin is recovering the wounded. So Curry Boglin is actually carrying Tikud, and we didn't get to see the fight, unfortunately. I wish there was a way that the game would stop when there's a new fight that starts, but that could have even been before we had other problems. Let's just go back up and have another quick look at Curry Boglin. Actually, where is Curry Boglin? Yeah, there. So this particular guy has actually, so the wounding is not from the arm. I was sort of thinking, gee, that arm shouldn't have caused serious injuries like this. But anyway, if we go and look at his health and his description, so he cannot breathe. He's winded because he's fallen basically down through the middle of the fortress. Ability to stand has been lost, and ability to grasp has been lost. If we look at his description, his left upper arm is mangled beyond recognition. His right upper leg is bruised. His neck is bruised. His upper body is bruised. His left lung is bruised. His upper spine is mangled beyond recognition. His left shoulder is mangled beyond recognition. Now, even though the spine and stuff gets mangled, they can still operate as such. Anyway, that's the problem that he's actually had. So he's... so that's the issue where he currently is. If we go and have a look at him, if we just go and follow him along, he'll then be taken to the hospital. So we'll just go through the steps of what happens here. So if I just unpause the game, now that's Curry Boglin carrying him into one of the beds. So this is our hospital area. The hospital is very, very well laid out. So it sort of makes dwarves feel happy as they recover. So we'll just go back in and places in the bed. Now, at this stage, he has now been placed into the actual bed itself. Our fortress is in here. Who's that? No job, just having a rest. All right, that's maybe just having a bit of a sleep in the bed there. Actually, it's not. No, it's still doing stuff. I don't know what it's doing in that room there. So not Curry Boglin. So Tikud is the one that's now injured. Is now sleeping and is winded. Could still die. So there's other problems that now have to happen. So we now need to go and get. If we have a look at his health and look at the wounds, nothing's been evaluated yet. So we don't know what the wounding actually is, and there's no treatment. But diagnosis is required. So one of the doctors will have to come in and look to his look to what he's doing. If we have a look at our zone, this is all of our hospital zone in through here. And again, because things can die very easily in the hospitals, we've actually got various traps placed in there. So we've got traps at their doors and through this other side. And we also then have an area where we've got like a block there with some blocks into here as well. And so we've got a door which we can lock if something dies. But if it's a were creature, which can then smash its way through doors, we then actually can place a block in through there as well. So we can actually go and make a solid wall. So we've sort of got it so that we should be able to protect the rest of the fortress and also the rest of the hospital if there is some sort of problem with a like a were creature or something inside these areas. Anyway, let's unclick. I don't even know if were creatures actually break doors anymore. They used to, but we've got protections in here with these blocks. That's why the blocks are there for this particular fortress, just because it's a reanimating fortress and our hospital is extremely dangerous. Let's go and have a quick look at the zone again. So we have a look and see. So this one here is, we've got Bjolf is the chief medical dwarf. Klingzog is I've created a doctor out of one of our fighters. So we've got a fighter that's actually a doctor as well. Now he's actually not part of the hospital as such. He really does go and fight with the rest of the guys. Then we've got Serian, who's a doctor. So I haven't bothered with specialists. All I've really done is just gone with general doctors. You can keep on going out, adding different, like ones that are specialised in particular things. So doctor is a general practice type person. A diagnostician will then just really specialise in doing the diagnostics. Surgeon will then do the actual surgery, and bone doctor will be doing the setting of bones. So if you don't have any of those, then the doctors will then just do all of those. So one of these 5 will then come in to then go and take that particular to take this job on. And is that one? Nope. No one's coming in just yet. Just step it through bit by bit. So this is Solon, who is a doctor, is now coming back in to look at what we have through here. This one is a skilled diagnostician, a skilled surgeon, so good doctor. Coming back up, so if we have a look at Ticket again, and if we just go on to that one and just go to health, if I unpause, if we have a look at the treatment, Now, there's a problem there. He's now died during the diagnosis, so probably just couldn't breathe. So we now have an issue where we have a creature like Tekud's corpse. So during that particular diagnosis, he's then gone and died. If we have a look at the alert, so Tekud has been found dead. So he was left in the room alive, but when they've come in to check up on him, he's already died in that very short period of time. Probably because he was so severely winded, he just couldn't breathe. Anyway, he's been found dead, and so we now have him there. The problem we're now going to have is he's going to come back as a zombie because he wasn't really damaged. And so we're now going to have to deal with him reanimating. We've got all those different things. Yeah, I'll just right click on those. That's all okay where we are there. That's fine. Now we need interrupted by, that's all old, I think. It's sort of showing that there's still stuff there, isn't it? No, that was actually that was old. That was old stuff. We'll just get rid of that. Something happened with the arm where it was still around this sort of area. I don't think that's... We've got 17 hostiles. Let's have a quick look and see if there's anything still in the fortress. No, they're all still just outside and doing what they do. That's fine. Okay, so... yeah, there's Mulmarian back in there fighting zombie Mulmarians, which is fine. So we'll just go and just go back to this location. So we have like this. He will rise as a zombie. So what I can do is I can either just lock the door, and that way he's going to be in there. So I will do that one initially. Zombies can't open the doors, so that is now a bit of security for us. And we just need to go down and get our military to deal with him. So so what we'll do is we'll just leave that door locked initially, because what will happen is the dwarves will now come and try to fix up his body ready for burial and then actually bury him. So we actually have like a burial area. But I want to make sure he's completely, he's not going to come back to life. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to wait for him to come back to life, and then we'll actually go and kill him. So we'll just wait here for a minute. Yeah, you see there was things about where they couldn't access what was going on. But if it goes for a long period of time, I can then sort of just go and leave it. A petition. Whiskered Hall has many members in Twinkling Hammer. Now requires a grand guild hall. Farmers Guild. I'm going to approve that, but that means we're going to have to really change one of the guilds that we have. So we'll approve that petition. And we'll just wait for this one to raise itself from the dead. I mean, it depends on what's happened to his head, basically, but I think if he had a fall and destroyed his, the upper spine was crushed, so maybe he's not going to come back to life. I don't really want to risk it. Nothing there we need to worry about. Well, it looks like he's not going to come back to life. So maybe we do actually open things up here a little bit for him. I know as soon as we open it up, he's going to come back, and there's going to be an issue. All right, well let's cope with that one at the time. Let's go and. Yeah, let's just open the door, make it passable, and we'll then deal with it as quickly as we can. This is fairly close to where our military is. If we have a look at the, this is elevation 45, so we're actually, we're inside the mountain here. And if we could just come back up, these guys are only 2 layers above. So that's the top of the fortress, essentially, and then there's 2 layers down we have this one. Let's go and wait, and then all they're going to be doing is dragging him up into one of the free coffins that we actually have up through here. So we have, we've got a mudstone coffin there with Starvish the Glazer, which has got all his teeth and stuff in it. So his teeth have been buried. Let's just go and let somebody come now. What are you going to be doing? Recover wounded, Resmelin? Who's wounded? Should be anyone. So Resmelin is. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Oh no, there is somebody there. No treatment scheduled. Not sure what's happened there. Resmelin has gone and picked someone up. Oh, here we go. Resmelin's now going to store an item in a stockpile, which is going to be this dead body. So let's follow Resmelin around. So we're now dragging this dead body up through. That goes into our corpse stockpile initially. And from there, it's going to then be set up ready for burial. So this is Ticket's corpse, spattered with his own blood, blah, blah, blah. So if he comes out of this one, we do actually have a trap right there to sort of get things going. Hi, Sev, how you going? How goes the colony? I'm alive. Yes, you are. We're losing a few, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. So that's all okay. Just make sure there's nothing else that is happening through here. So so that's actually fine. We got to the first phase of this. So Tekud's corpse is just going to be placed in the corpse stockpile, and from there will then be. Now that went down. It's going to have to then be brought back up. If we have a look in through here, these. Oh, hang on. This is actually. These have been claimed. That means this one isn't claimed. Now just make doubly sure that this one is actually a tomb. Yeah, that one's just a tomb. That one's a tomb with Union ID, even though we don't actually have Union ID through there. We do actually have a human maceman, but I think we got rid of his body else in other ways. These ones with nothing in them, I'm thinking we actually... I don't know if we can actually get rid of it and remove this zone permanently. Let's not worry about it. Let's just leave that one where that is. We do have one free tomb. What we'll do is we'll just go and create more tombs back up this other way. So what I do here is I just go back in and just go and build another row of tombs along the back there, because we are running short of them. So furniture, burial, and I'm just going to go into show the planner. So we have a lot of coffins already to go, but we'll just keep on getting more and more of them. I'm leaving them open. I'm not sort of worrying about making them into like, it's almost sort of like a catacombs that we've sort of got in through here. But to get this to work, what I do need to then go and do is just put in some doors, just so that it knows that this is going to be ultimately the actual tombs themselves. If I don't put the doors in, that doesn't do the individual tombs. So we just go that way. All right, and let's go and hide the planner for now. And now if we go into zones and go into burial, like tombs, and then we go to multi. So we've got multi selected. I'm just going to go and select that grouping there. So that will then create all of the various tombs, and then we just come through and cancel construction of each of these. It's probably a faster way for me to do that. Is that one do it? No, that one doesn't do it. No, that one still doesn't do it. No, okay, I'm going to have to just go through and cancel. So the guys will now start to just build the tombs as we place them. doors on these at all. Got 4 tombs that are ready to go into there, but that way at least we're going to be able to then put the bodies put them away properly. Let's just watch what happens in here again, just in case he does come back to life. Going off to slaughter more Polts. This essentially is where I expect things to raise themselves from the dead within the fortress. But it looks like his body was smashed enough that there's no real issue there. Horsehair has been fighting, so they've not sure where the Horsehair was. But usually it just means that one of the dwarves just has to stamp on it and then it's gone. Oh, now what have we got here? Place item in tomb. So now this one's going to be then placed, placing the corpse in the tomb. So we'll just go and follow Orangutan's library through the fortress. It could still come back to life, but yeah, hopefully it won't. Right, looks like they're filling these tombs up with other things. Yeah, okay, they are making use of them. We may need to build even more tombs. So I think I'll just go and get them mining another catacomb in through here. So it's going to be 2, it's going to be a corridor that runs all the way down to that location. So if anything does come back to life, it will then be caught in these traps. I might just go and position another cage trap. And there as well. And that one's been stopped for some reason. Teakwood. Which one was Teakwood? Teakwood's corpse is fighting. Was that the guy? Yeah, it is. Okay, he did come back to life. I didn't even see it. What actually happened there. So we'll have a quick look and see what actually happened. So he's come back to life from his tomb and just wandered off to try to kill Munkerstrap, the manager who happened to be mining out this area. I'm just going to go and resume construction there. So if we have a look and see what actually happened there. So it all happens very, very quickly. So Bennis goes, hey Daz, for someone who hasn't played Dwarf Fortress in almost 1.5 years, have there been some big changes to Fortress mode? There are changes coming actually very, very soon. There's going to be a siege mode which will be added in, which actually looks pretty damn cool. There's been a lot of little changes all the way through. They've still got some of the old bugs are still bugs, unfortunately. So this is, oh God, we've got a lot of old people that haven't been at unnamed tomb. Not sure what's happening with that particular tomb. But yeah, so this guy has he's come back to life. Yeah, you can see the mutilated corpse. Let's have a look and see what actually happened with the fight with this one. So we have Munkerstrap is now fighting against Teakwood's corpse. So Teakwood's corpse was placed in here. It then raised itself from the dead and wandered around through this other side while Munkerstrap was trying to dig out the rest of the catacombs. And so it's actually attacked him in the catacombs in here. You can see there's a bit of blood through there. There's Munkerstrap's dwarven blood. So there has been some issues. So let's go and have a quick look and see what actually happened there with Munkerstrap. So Teakwood has come up behind Munkerstrap, and so he strikes Teakwood's corpse and lower body with his copper pick, tearing the muscle and spilling his decomposing guts. So he does actually. This is one of the things. The miners are always strong, and they always have the pick is an actual weapon. And so Teakwood's corpse misses the manager. The manager stands up, so he strikes Teakwood's corpse in the head with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. A tendon in the skull has been torn. The force pulls the neck, tearing apart the fat and bruising the upper spine's nervous tissue. And so it's not enough you need to destroy the brain. So Teakwood's corpse attacks the manager, but he jumps away, back into heel. You can see there's a lot that does go on. The manager keeps on striking the corpse in the head with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle and fracturing the skull. Tendon has been torn. It sort of twists the neck. It misses the manager again. So this essentially means that the manager is now jumping around. I wish I had seen this going on. The manager strikes Teakwood's corpse in the left hand with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. So that's actually where he does sort of, he's pushing, he's now going up. Yeah, motor nerve has been severed. Teakwood's corpse charges the manager. The manager jumps away. The corpse kicks the manager in the head with his left foot. So he's on the so Munkerstrap is on the ground now. Force bends the neck, tearing apart the skin and bruising the fat. Okay, the manager strikes Teakwood's corpse in the right foot with his copper pick, fracturing the bone. A sensory nerve has been severed. So the force pulls the right ankle, tearing apart the bone in through there. Corpse attacks again. Again, there's nothing stopping. You can't stop these corpses. Strikes the corpse in the lower body with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. He does manage to get other things. He then punches the manager in the upper body, bruising the muscle and bruising the heart through the rope reed vest. This is the one thing. They don't have protection. So his heart has been hit. The manager strikes Teakwood's corpse in the head with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. It's still sort of going a little bit. Tendon in the upper spine has been bruised. Teakwood's corpse attacks the manager, but he jumps away. The manager strikes the corpse in the lower body. His copper pick tearing apart the muscle and tearing apart the stomach. The copper pick is now lodged in the wound. He does pull on the copper pick, and he gets possession back of it again. Teakwood's corpse misses the manager. Manager strikes Teakwood's corpse in the right upper arm with his copper pick, and the severed part sails off. So he's cut the arm off. At that point, that's another thing that will possibly come back to life. The corpse misses the manager again. The manager strikes the corpse in the upper body with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle. Again, it gets lodged, and he does get possession back of it. Manager strikes the corpse in the left lower arm with his copper pick, and the severed part then sails off in an arc as well. So he's got the upper right arm and then the lower left arm, and so they've now both been severed. So it's a bit like the Knights of Nick or whatever it is from Monty Python, like we now don't have any arms. Teakwood's corpse misses the manager. Munkerstrap manager said, "I've been injured badly. There is no hope." So he's only been hit one punch, and his heart is now in a bit of trouble. I don't know where the blood came from. Manager strikes Teakwood's corpse in the head with his copper hammer, and the injured part is cloven asunder. That's destroying the brain, and so that's now been killed. But where does he suffer? Punches the corpse in the right hand. Yeah, sorry, in the right with his right hand. Kicks the manager, tearing apart the skin. There it is. So when he was on the ground, Teakwood actually kicked at him with his head, and it did bend the neck, and actually sort of a little bit of blood then did spill. So what we'll find here is that now this has all been. We've got the right upper arm. I'm just going to go and make it so that these can all be then just processed again. So let's just go and get rid of all of those. Munkerstrap is injured, one injured citizen. So we've got Munkerstrap now going back off. And if we have a look at his health and description, we'll then sort of see his neck is torn open, his neck is bruised, his upper body is bruised, his head is bruised, his heart is mangled beyond recognition. There we go. So his badly damaged heart. His upper spine is bruised. So he's taken a bit of a beating. So just even though he actually had a weapon, the zombie could still actually do damage, which we have to be careful of. So the zombies are 3 times as strong as a normal dwarf. So he did well there. Like, it was sort of lucky that it was actually him that ended up having to fight the zombie and not somebody else. So let's go and follow Munkerstrap back down again. Actually, what we might do is we might just sit here and watch the watch to see if any of these come back to life. Now this one is our best miner. This is Redshirt, going into dig as well. A legendary miner. Now, if anything else comes back into to do some damage this way, then we shouldn't have too much trouble. Now somebody's coming in to pick up the right upper arm, so I'm guessing that's going to be buried again. Yep, going back for burial. Don't know what you were doing. No idea. Playing with the arm. Building that trap. So haven't got the cages in there just yet. Now we're putting that cage in. If we go back to Munkerstrap, who's now in hospital. So he's unconscious and injured. If we have a look at the health, it has been diagnosed. It just needs cleaning and sutures with what's actually happening in through here. And so some of these can be old, but they do just need a little bit of suturing in through that side, and then he'll be okay eventually. So here comes the coming off to clean the patient. So anyone can actually do that. Should be carrying a bucket. Usually, maybe going off to get a bucket. Yeah, it'll go off and grab a bucket of water, and then sort of come back in. So we have a well right here where they can just go and do all that. Let's just go back up and see if there's anything else that's going to happen in this side. Now they keep on trying to do things in through here. Harvest plants is what's happening there. What are you doing? Play make believe with the arm. It's funny the little things that actually, the interactions that actually happen with the kids. He loves it, absolutely loves it. Playing with T-Kud's right arm. Now that's not. It's not going to be placed back in here. I'm going to just to stop people playing with it. Yeah, see how there's actually something wants to happen with it. I'm just going to forbid it. There's actually and that's another little bug that can happen where certain things, you see I've had to forbid a lot of the other bits and pieces, but these aren't being picked up to be dealt with at this stage. Has he grabbed the other arm? Yep, so that other arm has now been placed in here. If we have a bit of a look again, this is the left lower arm. And so it keeps on being applied. I'm just going to keep on forbidding things as they bring them back in. He's now dragging the body in, and we'll just have to forbid that as well. And so if we have a look at the actual body, that's not showing it up. There he is. So we do actually have, and it keeps on. They keep on wanting to play with it. So it's not. It's an actual task that's been done, and I don't know why that's there. So we'll just go and keep on forbidding that particular one there as well. It's like we've had to do that with these other dwarves as they die off, and he's just playing make believe with the bodies. That's fine. That's fine. That's a healthy thing for a young dwarven child to do. So we've sort of got these established as well. What I think we'll do is just get all of these. No, actually, I'll leave these blank until we actually have a need for it. What are you placing? Oh, a coffin. I think, are you? Oh, this is Kivich the spinner, who is haggard. Meditating on thunder at this stage. So we gave it somewhere to pray, but it didn't seem to sort of work. All right, so we've got a fair few things have actually now happened while we were looking at all of this. Just grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. All right, so so Bimble has created a masterpiece turkey hen egg roast. Great, that's going to make everyone really happy. It's raining abhorrent goo. We had captured ourselves a were llama, a goblin that transformed into were llama. So whenever there's a full moon, we end up getting that one. So that's what that one was. That's safe. He's in a terrarium inside the main dining hall. Make cloth. Forgotten beast. Weaponsmith. Free Zarin is fighting. Who are you fighting? Stoker's left arm. Where the hell is this? Is that old? It seems to be new. I think it's old stuff from where the person fell to his death, essentially. That's the lower left arm there. Let's go and throw this thing away once and for all. Get rid of it. And yeah, so the arm is still, like that kobold arm is still just hovering around. All right, we'll leave all them where they are. And ended a mandate. She's mandated the construction of certain goods. Okay, so we need to go and check and see what she wants. So she wants battle axes. Make battle axes, 2 of them. All right, so we'll make them out of steel. We'll just go down to the bottom of the fortress and just manually construct those. So add new task. Steel battle axes. There we go. So we'll grab 2 of those. They're all done. Okay, interrupted by the arm. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Again, we don't need to worry about that one so much. All right, so that's all okay. All right, let's go and... This is actually where we need to get our... This is essentially what's going to happen here is we're going to end up with a... this is going to be the train station where we start to sort of move things up to the top of the fortress. So we are going to need to start to think about now how we build this and where it's all going to come up. We now at least know that we should be able to have a fairly viable system of transport. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that if it fails a little bit, I can still actually tweak it. So I'm going to make this one fairly safe. I'm not going to make it compact. Compact is it can be a bit of a problem. As we come back up, I'm just sort of now going through this area, just seeing that we've got pretty much solid rock all the way around. So even where we are here actually ends up coming. It's only when we get to here that there's a problem. And that's actually still underground as such. We're not inside the mountain just yet. But that's actually sort of where we first sort of reach any sort of real issues. And then we're going to have to tweak things again at that point. And then we've still got a big area before we then start to come back up into the fortress itself. So we have to then find a way past this, but we'll probably be over here by that stage. So, but that's all fine. Yeah, so I think we'll just start the process of getting this sort of working. So we're going to need to have like a system where we're going to have like a down way as well as an up way when it sort of does come back up. Let's go to the very bottom again and just go and start to think about how we're going to then do the train station at this point. Now, one thing I could do would be to circle around this, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just keep it sort of self-contained. And what I'll probably end up doing is having a stairwell that actually goes up through the middle of whatever we're building. I'll start over here and just have this as my actual start of the train station as such. So the way we're going to work it is we're going to need to go up above. We'll get a bit of a pattern working with what's going to happen. So let's just say we move up and then it goes around a corner. Actually, if it moves across and then goes up, it's going to then hit a corner in the layer above. So if we start, I'll just start to, this gets fairly confusing, so I hope that I'll make sense with this. So we're going to ultimately need to come back down. So let's just say we move along here, we need to accelerate through there, go up at this point, or we could even have it go up at this point. Let's go and build these bits as we do it. So we're going to have a raised area there. So this is going to be digging a channel up. So we have a channel that we dig up at that point. At that stage, it's then going to be coming up through here, and we then want it to move from there along this way a little bit. So I'll start to sort of just try to get like a series of locations, and then we'll go up again. Now that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to be making this into about a 6 by 6. That's still not going to be quite enough. Yeah, it should. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be right on the end here, which I don't want that to be. Let's just go and ditch those. So if we're looking at a 6 by 6 area, maybe I sort of at least mask that one in. So what we can do through here is just go and create something that's going to, like if I do a channel below and then just go and go to designate this as a, sorry, where is it? Do channel below, move this one out, and I'm just going to make it into a blueprint mode. So if I try to make it so that we end up with it just coming off, the 6 by 6 is going to ultimately come through all of this area. That's going to be fine. So let's just go down and designate that as a 6 by 6. That will be the area that I then build my stuff into, I think, until we get to that point around here. So that's going to be, just by doing this one, I end up with an area that I can then sort of work with, essentially. Now, it's stuff that we have that comes up into mine shafts and things. We'll work with that at the time. There's nothing else we really have to concern ourselves with. We've got a nice big area there to play with, and so we can sort of see that that's going to be essentially the area that we do start with in through here. So let's now just go and build what we need to do. So we'll just go back across, get rid of the marker, and we'll now make it into what we're building. So we're going to go up there. At that point, we're then going to come along this road to that point, and then we're going to go up again at this other stage. So I'll just do a few rungs, and then we'll just do some tests to see if it actually does work. So up at that stage, that then goes up to the next phase, that goes along, then up again. In fact, what I can do is I can just go to my corner pieces and just go up one by one and designate what gets built. That way I can I'll be able to then sort of figure out what's happening all the way up. And so these corner areas are going to be where the minecart goes up to the next layer. So this is much bigger. You can do this in a much more succinct way, but I want to have room to be able to maneuver and adapt. This is going up a fairly long way, and then we have this one coming up. That's fine. That still works. And we're getting into the cavern layers here. So I'll just check all that out and then just get things building all of this as we go. It's coming a long way up. I think this will be safe. I'm sort of tempted to not do all of this at this stage. let's just go and build a little bit of it. So if we just come back into here again, I'm just going to go and change this one to anything where there's access that we don't really want to have just yet. I'm just going to go and place like that. Hang on, that one's got access. That one's got access. I think the rest of them were actually pretty good. I thought, oh, is it one more? No, that one doesn't have access. That's fine. That way we can at least just test things out. We also need to have a test where we bring it back down as well. So we're now we're going to be coming across here, up, and then we're going to, so we just need to get like a bit of a pattern as to how this is going to work. So I'll just do a few of these. So they lead into the corner in each instance. I know I can ultimately create a pattern for this. That will probably be enough of a loop to sort of see how things are then going to work. What we're going to need to do when they do come up is to then actually have like a mechanism for essentially managing what we then build. And so I'm going to build a staircase in the middle that then sort of just goes up. So I might just build a staircase here, for example. So just start to build the staircase. So this will be the access for the controls of how we then sort of build everything else. I might just go all the way up, I think, with this to that point there. So that will then be how we then sort of construct the other elements that we then need to go and do. So it's just going to give me a little bit of an ability to go and build within this area. So what we need to do when we actually come up into this other side is we're going to need to have areas here that go up as well. Now we need to keep that one there is going to, it says just the two in here that we're going to need to actually have as channels again, actually. Yeah, this is going to be, we're going to have to sort of tweak this a little bit here. So the two middle bits are going to be ultimately where we end up with channels going up. In this case, what I'll do is I'll just go and get a designation to there and to there. We're going to need to have these blank with channels down. And similarly here, these are going to be channels up. Dig ramps up there. So the middle of all of these will then be ramps going up. And this is going to be where the acceleration will then take place. And we may have to sort of manufacture these a little bit ourselves. So as we build these will then be the accelerators. Did I then stop? Yeah, stopped at that point. Okay, that's fine. So that's going to be the accelerators where the ramps will then go, and the channels coming down are going to be the same sort of deal. So then what we need to do is where these things do come up, we're then just going to have to go and mine this area out, that area out, that area out, that area as well, and just so on and so forth up the list in through here. And so this central area will then just keep everything sort of controllable. We're already now past that bit of it. That's okay. I'll just leave that one off for now in that case, so that we don't actually do anything with it. Okay, so that's now going to have the bits that we can then go and build. We have to think about what we do coming back down. Now, coming back down is not really going to be a big issue. I think we'll just get this bit of it built and then we should be ready to go. So let's just go and unpause this. Incognito is then sort of saying, I doubt big changes will happen unless it's a system rework. I don't know, the siege one does look good. Now, is this Monka Strap back? He's back again. Now, what's he got? We know that he suffered some damage there. Look at his health, his wounds. He's got light bruising left there with his, and everything has been sutured. If we have a look at his items, we'll then sort of find that there will be a lot of thread sewn into his knee, his foot, his neck, his lower body, etc., etc. Anyway, that's all fine. So he's now sort of just going up where we've got everything sort of established, which is good. All right, so we'll test this one out. This is working well here. Oh, the mayor is actually now mandating construction of different things. Let's just go and have a quick look at this one. So back in through here, we now have another mandate. Make 3 short swords. Okay, well that's a bit annoying, but anyway, we'll still just go and do it. They can be made out of anything, but I do have the steel, so I might as well go and do that at this stage. I would prefer maces, steel, or something else, but steel swords is going to be okay for what we need to go and do. So we'll just go back down to F8 again, which is sort of like where we're building everything anyway, and add new task. Weapons, steel and swords, short swords. Weapons, steel, short swords. I think there's one weapon you can build and then pull it apart and you get more base material. I forget what that is. I don't know if that was sort of like an exploit, but I can't remember what the weapon was that you could go and build and actually end up with more steel than what you started with. I think there was something like that. Let's just go back up into here and now just have a quick look and see how Monka Strap is going with his mining. Now coming back through. Right, that's all good. So we now actually have everything sort of laid out that we need for building the track. So now the trouble we're going to have here is we're going to need to get a wall in through this other side. So let's just go and place some walls underneath there. Just go and place those two there, because that's going to then have, we're going to need to get a ramp built into here as well. In fact, if I go and do that, constructions, ramps, so we just get that bit of it constructed. So this is the accelerator that we then end up using. And I'll see, I don't know if I need both, but we'll sort of see how we go. But when it's actually laden with weaponry and stuff, it's going to be fairly heavy, so it may need to have 2 accelerators, but it may get away with 1. Just let them come in and build all of this. It failed. Resume construction there. All right, so we've got up ramps there. We've got an up ramp in the corner. So basically up ramp in the corner all the way through. And so with the ramps, because we've got the, these areas through here, we've got like flat areas that we can then start to sort of manipulate. So if we move and start to work, now I might as well just build the track, I think. And so we'll just build it out of actual track rather than actually carving it. So I'm not going to try to save anything with carving. I'm just going to go and build the track itself. So we're going to need to, first of all, get a track built along here. So we'll build the base track to start with, I think. So we'll just go into constructions. This will be under constructions again and just tracks. So I'm just going to start in the corner here, I think, and build that one up. If I do that one, I can just continue on building all the way around. So I'm just going up through the loop, just connecting everything with tracks. This ultimately will then be one big track. I'll build it to there. So this is going to, I just built it all out of whatever, really. I'll just go to just Gabbro. We've got a lot of Gabbro. So that's now going to be building the track all the way through. And then once that's actually been done, I'll let them just come and start to sort of build that one through there. It's these ones here that we're going to start to tweak. So I'm going to allow them to get constructed, and then we'll actually go and pull them apart. So it's sort of like, it's going to be a longish process to do all of this. But a lot of the dwarves will then help to do this one fairly fast. So we're moving along. I don't know what that will do to the up, like the up ramp. I'm sort of hoping that it doesn't actually impact them at all. Otherwise we'll have to construct them again a bit differently. They'll build these fairly fast. Oh, we've got a thieving or mischievous creature. Oh, that's down there with just rats. That's fine. Don't need to worry about it. Just go back down to the bottom here. Just watch as these guys start to come through. They'll miss a lot because they'll be talking. Like actually, so they've stayed where they are. Though we do actually have the upward track there, but it's still just going left to right. It's not actually an accelerator at this stage, so that's fine where that actually is. I'm expecting to see little yellow crosses through some of these, just where they don't get access to them. Yep, like that. Resume construction. It's just means someone was in the way at that stage. Okay, and that's got it there. All right, that's all been done. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll just come back to this track. I'll put the accelerator towards it and just see if we only need one of them. We may need two, but at least we've got the access to build two if we have to. So if I just come back into this one here, we're going to remove the construction there. Now I'm hoping that that actually just removes the track and not the not what we have underneath it. Let's try this one as well. This one, yeah, we'll just go into constructions. It may remove both of what was there before. We'll have to just be mindful of what's actually happening in that location. So I'll just go back in, remove construction. Yeah, this one may be too much. Just sort of see what happens and just how much acceleration we get with this. And if we end up with too much, we can then tweak it. So I'm just exposing the ramp again, hopefully. There we go. Actually, that one there, I think I'll oh, hang on. This is I've still got the masking on. In that case, we'll Get rid of that. Yep, so this needs to be done. I'm thinking we'll probably get away with only one of the accelerators, but we'll see how we go. That's fine where that is. So they should be coming in and just, yeah, they're removing the various track areas. Yep, so as they sort of, as we go back down, that's all good. Just wait for that one to be removed. There we are. Yeah, it did take the ramp away as well, so we need to put the ramp back in. So that ramp goes. If we just go back to constructions, ramps. So we have to start with the ramp. That got rid of all of them. Damn it. Okay. Well, it's a bit annoying. So we're going to have to construct the ramps all the way through. That's unfortunately just what we get with what we're doing here. Need to build the ramp first. That one we're just leaving as is. Okay, so that's done. Just wait for them to be built. Sigmund said don't forget about your Guildhall petition. Actually, this where at least this one does sort of show it. It's not urgent with that one, but I'll just wait for these to do this. We'll just focus on this for a little while. This does get a bit confusing doing these things. Okay, so we now actually have that one has now been done. If we now go back up to the to construction and go back to tracks. If I start on the layer above and then go back down into this layer and do that, it will then start to reconstruct. Now I don't need to do this one here, so I can just go and cancel that construction, but I have to have it coming from there. I'm going to experiment with this one just on its own. I'm going to actually cancel that construction and just see if this actually does work without having to build all of the other tracks, the rest of the track. And I'm not sure if it does. And we'll also just build ourselves a track stop. I think we do have to build the top bit. I've got a feeling that that's actually a requirement. Oh, here we go. This Union ID Ghostly Weaver has risen and is haunting the fortress. So we do have a ghost of Union ID sort of doing things. So we're going to need to go and build a. If I go to F5. So if we just go and we're still making coffins and things. Add new task, engrave memorial slab to Union ID. Should have been at the top there. No slabs engraved. Okay. So we'll just go that way. There he is. So we'll get those that one engraved. which I might just make that a priority. It's all okay. Just go down the bottom of the fortress again. Now, that says rough conglomerate block upward track. I think I still really do need to be building from in here. I don't know if this is going to work. So I'm going to, with this next one, I will actually build this one as well, just so I can sort of check it. So I'm just going to go to the one above, go back into constructions, track, start there, and then just come around this corner. Just get whatever we can get built. That one I know I don't need, so I can actually just cancel that construction. But I've got a funny feeling I do need this one. We'll just wait for that one to then just come back through. If I can get away with just this, that would be great. But we won't know until we get this one established. Okay, that's now been done. I shouldn't have to do that one. I'll just let it get built, and then we'll just sort of see what actually happens with this as a bit of an experiment. I've got a funny feeling I don't need to do this. So we've got the track there that goes down and then around the corner, which is that's the accelerator there. All right, let's go and just see what actually happens here. We should end up with a mine cart that sort of fails. And I'm just going to go back into my traffic areas and make it so that these are essentially low areas. So I'm just going to go this way. Actually, it already is. They've already designated, and that's good. So we've got auto designation when there is tracks that we try to avoid them. All right, that's good. That's nice and clever. And we'll go and build another minecart system. So add new route. So this is the forges, and we need to add a tracks. So we need to assign a minecart, but we also need to add a stop. So we're just going to go and do this one. So stop number 1, and so we have the set the desired items. Doesn't matter about that one just yet. Link the stockpile. Get rid of these. So we're going to kick it off, and we're going to travel it in the westerly direction always. So it's just basically going to be brought back down into there. The rest of it, I think what I'll do is I'll go and put. I think I'll just leave it and just see what actually does happen here. I'm just going to go and click on done. Because we're only going to have the one minecart on this thing. Actually, yeah, nothing for that one. Add the minecart in. Hang on, add a tower cap will do. Okay, so we'll just go and grab that one. So we'll see what actually happens here. So someone will bring it'll take a long time to get the minecart down into this location. But I don't want to miss it. I need to sort of check and see just what the speeds are as things happen. What we want to see is an acceleration between there and there from these. Oh, now hang on, we missed it. So it happened very, very quickly. So this is the minecart here. Let's just go and press. We can actually follow this. So if I just go and press the full stop. Oops, hang on, that's not doing it. Why not? It's running. He's bringing it back. Let's have a look and see. There's something that went wrong there. Just watch this minecart as it comes back down again. I'm just pressing the full stop key just so I can actually control what's going on here. Now push it off. No, not yet. Here he comes. So now goes on top. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, that was a big acceleration there of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not working there for some reason. And it stops at that point. Alright, so for whatever reason, that's not accelerating. It should be. That was the one that I thought was going to actually fail. Well, let's get rid of this and see if that has any bearing on it. It shouldn't do. It's getting to that one, which means that it should then accelerate again. Like as soon as it gets to that, that should then have a lot of acceleration to go up around this next corner. God, it's always confusing, this stuff. I'll get rid of that. So someone will come up the stairs and get rid of this one. There we are. Nope, still getting stuck there. And I'm not sure why. All right, let's try the next little phase that we have to then go and do, which is to build. And so this one here was working, and all we had to do was just build the one. Let's do the same here, and build another one in here to try to get the accelerator to actually go. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what to do, to be honest. This has been quite annoying, these tracks. So we go that way. Don't want to use bars. I do have some blocks. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. Cancel that construction. I'm assuming that will work. We'll get rid of this construction as well. Just see what happens here. Now we're going to need to suspend the minecart. So if we just go back down to that stop again, this is another full moon, which is why we're getting the goblin transforming again. But if we go and have a look at the stop, actually we don't need that one. Let's just go and unclick that one. Actually, no, that one's still on. Oh, none. There we are. Just go to none on this one, just so that we end up getting the actual, with no minecart on this one. Just while we try to fix this one up. I don't want to have anyone sort of having an issue with it. Just see what happens in here. Thanks for the subscription there, Syrian. Very, very much appreciated. Oh, now that's not what we want. Okay. So this one now is going to go up when it comes along. So this is actually a bit more intricate. So we need to now go and remove this. So that has to be removed, and then we have to start again. Yep, so the Kivish is not making it all that well through here. I might have to cheat with that one. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Where is he? Kivish. Got a black beard, I think. There he is. Haggard. So I'm just going to go and cheat with him. So if we just go back into DF hack, if we have a look at the needs again, so we just go into the launcher and then just type in needs. Fill needs, what does that one do? Temporarily satisfy the needs of a unit. Use make them focus on unstressed. So we're going to just go fill needs. So I'm just going to go enter, and there we go. So all the stuff has now just been reset. So he was still haggard, but that way at least his actual that will then fix itself up fairly soon. All right, F8. Just watch this in action. All right, so we then need to just start this one again, start this process, but we do need to have the ramp initially. Mudstone blocks will be fine. Get that one built. It's like this one's not working for some reason with the ramp. Okay, and then with that one done, so then we need to go back in and just rebuild this. Remove that one and remove this one. And we'll just test it from there. Yep, so the Stonecrafter coming in to do the job. Now that should be an accelerator. That should still work. Okay, let's go back and test it now. Yep, so that one's now back on again. All right, let's now step through. Actually, we'll first of all see if it does go beyond where the other one was, and just see if it actually does work. All right, so it's gone up through there, and now it's working. It's now stopped there, which is fine. So we'll just watch that again. I'll come and pick this one up. So this has been designated for somebody to go and grab it and then drag it down again. All right, so it's interesting that it wasn't working previously, and I'm not sure what the difference is here. That's pretty consistent. Like the actual speed was actually fairly good up until that point. Let's just go back and have a bit of a look now, and now we'll just do it bit by bit. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. It was like a skip of 2, then it goes slow. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, it goes. That's a nice consistent rate, actually. So hopefully when it's full, that will actually then do a good enough job. But this is actually now working fairly well. So I do actually, by having it 6x6 like this, I can ultimately then tweak what happens with the acceleration. So we may need to go and put doubles in, but we'll just try to get a bit of a feel for it. And then when it's actually loaded up with stuff, we'll then sort of test it fully and just see if we need to add in even more. So there is actually a lot of stuff that's going to have to go on. But I have run out of time today, guys, so I'm going to have to leave it there. I think I'll be back tomorrow. I'm actually away for a week, so but I may be able to still stream tomorrow, but I'm not sure about that just yet. I may not have time, but I'll see how I go. So if not, I'll catch you guys in about a week's time. If I am, I'll be back tomorrow. So anyway, I'll catch you guys around. Thanks for watching.